Now then, people, it's Joe or Leeds TV, and it's Monday night football time. The chance when you, the fans, get to comment, and I get to reply to them comments. Really love doing it. So sorry it didn't get done last week. As I say, I was a bit under the weather. I'm a little bit under the weather today as well. Lucky for you guys though, I managed to get myself out of bed because Conor the Ramblings was going to want to do it, and I just thought, nah, we can't have that. You don't want to be looking at his face more than twice a week. So I've made sure I drag myself out of bed so I can reply to your comments. So I've got the old our lass's phone here, you know. We're always got his finger on the pulse of technology. I had quite a lot of comments actually, to be fair. I got quite a lot of dislikes this time as well, which isn't normally the case, but my excuse for that is them salty Forest fans who claiming we're cheating, but there you go. But I'm going to dive straight in, so bear with me, there might be a little bit while I have a little read, because as I say, there's been quite a lot of comments, so and just thank you so much for that, because as I say, we love getting your comments in. Watch this space, we might be looking at doing a Friday night football, where the Ramblings, he's going to be replying to comments that you might post on our pre-match videos, or any sort of content we've put out during the week. Obviously Conor can go through that on a Friday in prep for the weekend's games. So as you'll know, we put our our pre-match up. You know, we've got Wigan this Sunday. They'll all be up before Friday. If you leave any comments or want anything discussed, put them in there, and then obviously Conor can tackle them on Friday night football. But yeah, Monday night football, City Tottenham today. Really looking forward to that. It should be a really good game. I fancy City to do them, but like I say, it's always good when there's some decent football on. But back to the task in hand. So moving on. We have got, there's quite a lot, to be fair, we've had quite a lot of comments about the handball, and Roof's come out and said so himself, yeah, look, it did hit my hand. If you slow it down, it could have easily hit his knee. First, ball to hand, however you want it. There's been a lot said. I know Shane Shanks has touched on, you know, the Nottingham Forest players, you know, swearing and stuff after the game. For me, let's just move on now. A lot's been said about what happened at Brentford. It's a couple of weeks ago now. I tell you what was funny though. I seen a Brentford fan had set up a petition to get Leeds docked points for cheating, which is funny, man. It's football banner, innit? Like, listen, you know, there was a lot of petitions put up after the Brentford game, but for them to put one in about us after the cheating handball, I thought was pretty funny. So fair play. So Thomas King, first comment I want to get into, because I did mention how Forshaw had a good game, and it was rightly so that, you know, Saiz had been dropped because he wasn't that great, and when he came on the pitch he wasn't as good. But Thomas King makes a good point. He says, Joe, what Saiz does do though is provide the space for Click, as the opposition are always on Saiz, which creates the space for Click. Click isn't the same play with Forshaw in the side. I think a lot's been made about that. I think you know, towards at times, sorry, Forshaw was playing very deep in that sort of Saiz role. He did come, and he's that type of player, isn't he? So I think he is better suited to, say, like the KP role. And when he did play in that role in the second half, I thought he did really well, and it shows we have options in the midfield position. But I do think come Sunday it'll be the similar sort of lineup. You know, there'll be contentious decisions over full back again. I think with Ayling and Berardi out, it looks to me that we're probably going to see Dallas as well. We might see Alioski play left back, and hopefully Jack Clarke start, which a lot of people have mentioned in the comments as well. You know, Defcon 22 always comments, he says Douglas, Ayling and Berardi all out is a problem. I'm hoping Douglas will be back. I think Douglas may be back. I know I've just mentioned there about Alioski playing at left wing back, but I'm hoping, you know, I think Douglas is due to play today in the under-23s. Let's see if he comes through that, and hopefully he might be back. He goes on to say we've got to defend at corners better. 2 at Blackburn now today. He says we passed the ball 600 times up front but didn't finish the job. 2 big basic areas we need to improve on. Take the point though, unless our friends at the FA don't retrospectively disallow the goal and give Dawson a good conduct award for the F word at the camera, LUFC mock. That's one thing I'll say for Leeds fans. We're always pretty weird. We've got a sense of humour, haven't we? So fair play. But I think for me, and I've mentioned it before, we discussed it on the Talking Shut podcast. I think my mates are starting to batter me now, actually. Conor mentioned that I name drop Talking Shut all the time. Well, you'll be happy to know, guys, I'm going on LS11 with Ryan from the Pigeons on Wednesday. So I can no longer be dropping Talking Shut. I'll just drop the name drop of LS11 next time around. But I did say, you know, for me, the corners, I don't think as a unit, as a team in training, we're working on that. I don't think that's Bielsa. Like, I can't see it personally. He's all about plan A. He's all about pure football. I don't think he's going to be too bogged down on set pieces. To him, he'll see it as, you know, it's not really significant in footballing terms. You know, I think it's like when we mentioned before against Borough about the height situation, and he's never going to be a coach who's going to look at it and say, oh yeah, best just put a big lump on there because they're really tall. And like at set pieces, there's not going to be too much emphasis on it. So although we're looking frail at set pieces at times, which to be fair, before Blackburn we hadn't. You know what I mean? And a lot's been made, oh, set piece. But prior to that, I don't think we'd look that bad in set pieces. Maybe people are coming up with better plans now, you know, like Mowbray had done for Blackburn. He mentioned about taking the two tall lads out of the frame, and then the second or the late runner getting onto the ball, which happened twice. But I don't think we're that bad at set pieces as a whole over the season. You guys might disagree and will no doubt tell me in the comments. Harry Burns says, about time we got a bit of luck. It's making me think what they have planned for us next, knowing that we handballed it. Again, you're probably right. He says, watch this space, Jack Clarke. What more can you say about that lad? He's watched him rip up the under-23s and he looks quality when he comes on. Some talent, and he really hopes he gets a start soon. Totally agree. He says Dallas is not a player he would start. I tend to agree with that, and I said so before on an Instagram video before we'd even played the game. He's not a fullback. He's a utility player and should be on the bench, in my opinion. I do really like Dallas though. He's a top pro and he runs a lot and all that sort of jazz, but he's not first starting material for me. And he does say plenty of times tonight we had some great build-up, then it would get to Dallas and we would lose momentum, and I agree with that. You know, there was a few times where he would come back away from their goal and pass it back to Cooper or to Janssen, and I noticed there were times when he had the ball on the edge of the box and he wouldn't play that pass and he would go back and Click would go mental. And maybe an Alien or a Douglas in them sort of positions finds Click on the edge of the box. So I do agree with that. Tiger Steel, another one who comments a lot, says, Jesus, Joe, Jack Clarke needs to start next game. I hope he does. I think if Douglas is fit, he doesn't, and he goes with Alioski. He's very loyal to his players. But I think if Douglas is fit, he goes with Alioski at wing. If Douglas isn't fit and can't play, I would put Alioski back there and Jack Clarke. And I think that's the only opportunity Jack Clarke's got to start if Douglas isn't fit for Sunday. If he's fit, Douglas goes in and Alioski plays left wing. Philip Million, again, who comments a lot, and I know he watches the podcast and stuff as well because he gets name checks there as well, so thanks for your support, Philip. He said he handled the game very well, the referee, which I thought he did. He says, Forest were the most wasteful team I've seen this season, could not string a pass together. We dominated the game, just the final ball was poor. Every game we conceded early, we score late. We need to get games won early like we did early in the season. 100% agree with that, and I know a lot of you agree. We need to score first, it seems, at the minute. So hopefully that'll happen on Sunday. So Lewis, he actually puts, for the Monday night video, we need to work on set pieces. Teams are happy to sit 2 banks of 4, not allow us to break them down, then get a set piece goal. It's crazy to see how ineffective Hernandez or Saiz are when they're in the team without each other. Because we've just won on, they're consistently being man-marked and seem to not be able to create opportunities alone. I disagree with that slightly. I think Saiz, yes. Hernandez, no. I think Hernandez got a lot of the ball against Forest Saturday night. It's just, he wasn't on his best game. That final pass wasn't quite there, but I thought Hernandez got into good positions. It's just the final pass, and that was evident throughout that full game for the majority of the team. I think we had like 10 chances, Bielsa had said, to their 1, you know, and we did dominate the game. It's just the final ball wasn't quite there. He says, got to remember we've got some real talent coming back in January with the likes of Izzy Brown and Bamford, could be key for the second half of the season. And he touched on how pivotal Izzy Brown was for Huddersfield in their season. So I agree, and I can't wait for them lads to be in the team. It gives another option in the in the midfield for Izzy Brown, especially in the Saiz role, and obviously Bamford offers so much as well. I think for me, what we need to do is get better quality in the wing positions. Dilip Kedna says, when the goal went in, I went crazy. Something I haven't done since the start of the season. We deserved the goal. Forest know that. But when the referee was talking to our linesman, I thought it was going to be, thought it was going to be not given, and I was the same. I think all Leeds fans probably were filled with dread. I wonder what the conversation was about. I think the lino, for me, when he's gone over to the lino's probably not being aware of this handball situation. I think it was more about the offside, because it was, at first I initially thought that it was offside, but you can see I think it's Dawson that plays him on. So maybe that was what the, you know, quick chat was to say, look, Dawson played him on, he was onside. I don't think they were aware of the handball at the time. Stephen Huntimari 00 says that kid Clarke looks sick, future class player, 100%. I think we all agree. Now on to the main man, Dr. Frost. Dr. Frost likes to comment on all our videos, and I'm grateful for his support. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I question your knowledge, Dr. Frost, and this isn't meant in any way trying to dig you out. It's just to get some context for you. I wanted to comment on your comment, but I thought I would leave it to Monday Night Football. To be honest, Dr. Frost, we could probably do a show reel on just you alone. Monday Night Football does Dr. Frost. To be honest, I think what we want to do is get you on as a guest. We would love to get you on as a guest. Please tell us who you are. Hit us up on social media and we'll get in contact and we'll have you on as a guest, man. He says, so, I think that's his second. Let's have a look. I think there must be another one. Let me just find the man, the myth, Dr. Frost. Oh, he's having a bit of a conversation there with Tiger Steel and Defcon. He's having a bit of a with the regulars. So, where's his other comment? It's gone down, you know. Oh, come on, Dr. Frost. Where you at, man? Sorry about this, guys. I'll find him. I think actually it might just be responding to other people's comments, but there was definitely one where he'd. But I mean, if you go through the comments on my post-match video on the Forest game, he comments on all the comments, but I think he'd said to me, I make a lot of statements that I can't back up, and that I think it was that we don't score enough. We're not scoring enough, and I just had a look at, you know, the facts behind that. I mean, we've got the best goal difference in the league, so we're obviously doing all right in that department. And we're the third highest scorers in the league. I think West Brom have got 33, Sheffield United have got 27, and we've got 26. So we're not doing that bad. But Dr. Frost basically says, however, one judges a single result or the last 8 or even 15. This season is without doubt the best for years. Exciting quality football, missing only that end product too often. The attendances are up from last year. If we should not get promoted, I really hope Bielsa will stay or replace with a coach with similar ideas and capabilities. Everything else would be real shite. I actually agree with you there, Dr. Frost. I'm a little bit frustrated because your original comment that you made on the video seems to have been taken down. So that's a bit of a nightmare. But we shall move on. But Dr. Frost, yeah, if you could get in touch, mate, because like I say, we're looking to do a regular Skype call, and we'd love to have you on as a guest, because you do comment a lot. Sometimes I don't agree with them, so let's get responding to you. And we could even do a Monday Night Football just on you, Dr. Frost, if I'm honest. I wish I could find that comment, man. It's gone. But yeah, moving on. So, Stephen Surtees commented on our inability to defend corners of the week. It's been evident even last year, but we totally outplayed Forest and deserved at least a point. Yes, we all saw it was handball, but in real time was hard to spot the time. And about time we got the rub of the green. The difference this year is we never know when we're beat. So many times we would have lost last year, but this year we just keep going till we score. P.S. No one mentioned that we should have had a pen. Yeah, I think a bit was made in the group about that as well. I think it was a bit 50-50 really. It could have been given, couldn't. I think there was a challenge from Joe Lolly as well on Forshaw, that if Forshaw goes down, probably gets carded for it. It was very high. But them sort of contentious decisions during a game you can hand. I think the reason we keep bringing this up is because of the Canos headbutt and stuff, because it was so blatant and it wasn't spoken about. So, Sean Thompson, hi Joe, I've been watching your videos since the start of the season and I'm really enjoying them, so thank you. I can't go to the games anymore because I look after my 8-year-old mother who's very ill and I don't have much time to do much else. So your videos give me a good insight to what's going on with the games and the players. I'm not very up on tactics and player positions, but I do know a good player when I see one. Clarke really impressed me when he came on. I think he should be given a start for the next game. Just my opinion. Thanks again, Joe. Marching on together. Well, Sean Thompson, thank you so much. That's great to hear, mate. And I hope your mum gets well soon. You know, so from everyone at Leeds TV, get well soon, Miss Thompson. And hopefully, Sean, you know, we'll see you at Ellen Road very soon, mate. And if you do come down, give us a message and we'll meet up, eh? But thanks very much for your continued support, mate. That means a lot. And you are right, Jack Clarke is some boy. Danny Winters says, not the way I would have wanted to score. But as Rue said, it's up to the officials to get it right. At long last, the decision went our way. I worry for all our possession and shots we are struggling to score. He says, I think we need a cutting edge come January. We also need to get defending set pieces right. At the moment, if it's making a rod for our own back. Yeah, a lot's been made about the set pieces, and I agree with everyone's comments, but I just don't think Bielsa's about that life. Phil Clarke, I think this was this morning actually, and I was a bit surprised by it. So he says, it's the goalkeeping situation that needs sorting. Bailey's not good enough yet, I'm afraid. We need a big imposing goalie. Oh wait, we have, surely Blackman gets a chance now. I don't think he's done it wrong. Apart from the Birmingham game, what's Bailey done wrong, mate? And to be honest, having seen Blackman up close and personal in the cup games, he's not looked great, mate. So I don't think Blackman's the answer right now. And I don't see what Bailey's done wrong to warrant him coming out of the side. If he was going to come out of the side, he'd have come out after Birmingham. Rory Collier says he honestly didn't think Roof was that good until the goal. Lots of misplaced passes and loose touches, but that is what pleases me the most because he's still scoring. Yeah, I said Roof had a good game and I still stand by that point. The amount of running, he drags players left and right. He does so much off the ball that you might not see, but and he pops up when it matters. You are right, there was a few times the ball did get away from him at time when it came into his feet, but overall I thought he had a really good game. Steve Huntimari says, I hope we beat Wigan now. I'm from there and all my mates support Wigan, so it should be nice to smash them. 100%. You know, we've got some big games coming up. We've got Wigan and West Brom before the international break. If we can take 6 points, which is a big if, because West Brom will be a difficult team. The only thing that I think about West Brom is, yes, they're mint going forward, but they concede a lot. And the fact that Derby trounced them the way they did. Derby are on a different trajectory at this minute in time, but we have to remember what we did to Derby. And we're better at that style of football than Derby. Might not be recently, but overall over the season, I would say we were the better team, yeah? So if we can perform like we did against Derby, Norwich, these sort of teams, against West Brom, don't see why we can't take all 3 points. But 6 would be great, but I would love 4. Let's take 4 because, you know, they're both away games. So you got to be happy with that. Aaron Dickinson, we need to sign a prolific goal scorer ASAP. Against defensively structured teams, we struggle to put the ball in the back of the net, especially when they score first and then sit back for 70 minutes. To that, I would say, tell me what a prolific goal scorer does different to Roof on Friday night. Because I don't think Roof had that many opportunities. If, for example, you looked at Tyler Roberts against Millwall and said we needed a prolific goal scorer after that performance, I would agree with you. Because he had many opportunities to score and fluffed his lines. Roof didn't. When Roof was called upon, he put it in the back of the net. Even if he used his hand, he put it in the back of the net. I don't think Roof was the problem. It was the final ball. Hernandez wasn't great. Alioski's crossing was suspect. When we did have efforts, they just missed. You know, there was a few. There was one where, you know, Hernandez had flicked it round the back and it just went wide of the post. I think so I don't think, you know, signing a prolific goal scorer is the answer to our problems at the minute. And I think Roof's doing fine. Roof's doing fine there. But I think in the Sky comments after the game, they put to Bielsa, you know, do you feel that luck was on your side? And he made a good point in saying that, look, we had 10 opportunities and didn't convert, you know, and we converted 1, and Forest had 1 opportunity and scored. So if anything, the luck was on their side. Do you know what I mean? So I get where Bielsa was coming from in that. John Doe says, Bielsa's still making too many tactical mistakes. This was the same John Doe who last week said that Bielsa can go for him if he doesn't turn it round soon. And at the time we were 4th in the league and we won the game and went top. So I do worry about some of your stuff on Bielsa, John Doe. But let's see what you put. So you put Bielsa's still making too many tactical mistakes. What a waste of a substitution. We're still piss poor from set pieces and we need serious reinforcements in January. Otherwise, may as well forget about finishing top 6. I can't see how we don't finish top 6. I want you to reply to me, John Doe, what kind of things, what kind of reinforcements you want in order to make us top 6. Where do you think we're lacking? And get them in and we'll have a look. Actually, Guzrab actually commented on the back of that. So he says, Bielsa equals smoke seller. He did not win anything. I am Argentinian, but Bielsa is very overrated by the press. Then he speaks in Argentinian. Sorry, I can't decipher that. So John Doe and I guess Guzrab, they're both calling out Bielsa. What I would say to that, you're both insane. He's the best manager Leeds have had at the helm for a very long time. He's the best manager the Championship's seen for a very long time. And yes, he hasn't won major trophies, but listen, you don't go to Newell's Old Boys and get a stadium named after you. You don't get lauded by the national press and international press if you're not a good manager. So I don't agree with any of them comments, to be fair. Freddie O'Neill says it was an electric atmosphere and solid video. It was a good atmosphere. Make sure you watch our video. We always do a video on the atmosphere and what went on in the game, so by Tash, one of the teams. So if you could give that a look and give that a watch, please do. Tommy First says, we aren't top, but we never expected to be in this situation a few months ago. Love your videos, Joe. All leads our way. Thank you, Tommy. But yeah, you're right. Listen, we started really well, and people are finding negatives when if at the start of the season you'd have told me by the 29th of October we'd be in the top 2 position, I'd have snapped your hands off. You know, Christmas is coming. If we're in and around there come January, you've got to fancy us. That's all I can say. Tiger Steele says, Douglas is back. Next game, can't wait. And then there's a bit of a to and fro between the Defcon, Dr. Frost and Tiger Steele, the regulars. So thank you very much, regulars. Dr. Frost, like I say, get in touch so we can get you on. There's a few comments that you've made, and we're grateful for the support. But sometimes they're a little bit negative. So it might be good to get your spin on them comments and why they're coming from that sort of place. We'll get you on and we'll dissect them. But it's been a pleasure as always, guys. I got loads of comments this time. I think 53 in total, so that's buzzing for me. Plenty of likes. Keep that going. Anything I've missed or anything you want me to touch on further, make sure you put in the comments. You know, there's a few people there I've mentioned to elaborate more, so make sure you do. You know, we'll be getting our pre-match stuff out for Wigan during the week, and hopefully Ramblings will be all right down in Oz to get a Friday night football going where he can reply to them comments as well. And as you know, guys, I'm going on LS11 on Wednesday with Ryan from the Pigeons, so make sure you tuned into that. And if you can't tune in live, then obviously jump on Periscope, YouTube, all that jazz, even on the iTunes podcasting, all that jazz afterwards. So get on that. But thanks again for your renewed support, guys. I love replying to your comments. Let's have a mint week and hopefully let's pick up 3 points away at Wigan. Marching on together. It's been a pleasure. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.